I bow to all the seekers of truth. That's a very interesting subject that has been given to me to talk to you people. Because I've been always worried about the IAS, IPS, and other government servants. Very much worried. Because I have known the kind of life my husband was leading, and I used to think if these new people who have come to these services, to the government service, we have to tell them the dangers that are ahead of them. Because we don't know what is the subtle system within us which works. And in this subtle system, when we lead this kind of a very speedy, intensive life, it has a defect. It has a defect, you can see in the chart, they have shown the subtle system, which works it out. So we have a center here on the crossing of the optic duct. This center is very important because we react with this. We react to everything. By this reaction, we create a problem within ourselves. And this reaction comes to us because we do not know how to go beyond the mind. Every time we are looking at something, we react. We look at someone, we react. But we cannot just watch. We cannot be just the witness. If we could be the witness, it will not have any effect on us. But we cannot be. That's the trouble when this center is very active. We call it as Agya Chakra. Where the two optic nerves meet. At the crossing point, this center is placed. Even Jung has said that you have to go beyond your thoughts, and that you have to become thoughtlessly aware. Even in our Shastras it is written that you have to have Nirvichar Samadhi, means without thought, and the another is Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Now even Einstein has said that you have to go beyond the mind to reach the torsion area, he calls. When he was searching for his theory of relativity, he found it was difficult. He couldn't find it. He got very tired. He went into his garden and was playing with soap bubbles like a child. Then he says, suddenly from somewhere else, it dawned upon me this theory of relativity. He calls it openly as a torsion area. And this torsion area we have to touch instead of ourselves thinking all the time and react. Because as a result of that, what happens, we should see. What happens is that our movement on the autonomous nervous system goes to the right side. The right side is very good, otherwise a person looks very impressive, he can oppress other, he can be aggressive, he can be very systematic, all these things can be there. But it has a reaction. The reaction is horrible because this right side affects our liver to begin with. Now the liver is called liver because we live because of liver only. That's why it's called liver. This liver gets affected and there is no actually treatment, we should say, in the medical science for liver. They can replace it with a pig's liver or some liver like that. But otherwise, there is no way out. But we are the ones, we are spoiling this liver ourselves by creating tremendous heat in the liver. This special liver has got a capacity to absorb heat and release it into the bloodstream. And then, you see, it gets relieved of it. But when it is too much, when the liver is too much full of heat, then it cannot give up that heat. Then this heat start traveling upward. It can go to the right lung. It can go to the heart. Now imagine right lung means asthma. Simple thing is asthma. Then it goes to the heart. When there's a young boy, say of 21 years or so, up to that age, he starts playing cricket, tennis, and drinks a lot. Then he gets a massive heart attack. It's fatal, he cannot live. Then it affects, as I told you, other organs also. This heat goes to the pancreas, causing diabetes of a very serious nature, not of a mild nature, but a very serious nature. Then this heat passes down to the spleen. In the spleen, it gives you blood cancer. This is all possible for all right-sided people, I'm telling you. That's why I was worried that people who are, according to me, are the spine of our country. They are the spine of our country. They should not get out of life because of too much of strain and stress on their mind. Now then it goes to the kidneys. It coagulates the kidneys and you get kidney trouble, or you cannot pass urine and you have all the troubles there. Apart from that, it goes to the lower intestines and you get terrible constipations and all the problems of the constipation. Then also to the heart. At a later age, it comes. It goes on affecting, ultimately, your heart fails. Very early in age, I know of recently 2 people died of heart trouble who were at a very good position. This is very much worrying me, that how to bring them to close to themselves, to know themselves what the problem is and how to solve that problem. With this we understand that we react. By reaction we create such a heat within us. Apart from this, the other psychosomatic diseases, this is I'm telling about somatic, but the psycho disease which comes from your psychological problems come from the left side. Of course, I'll not deal with that now. But somehow, if you can move from right to the left, you are sure to get some psychosomatic trouble which cannot be cured by medical science, like cancer, AIDS, all kinds of this. So you are just preparing your body for them. In these modern times, the life is so full of struggle, speed. Now we were coming and there was a jam. Now you can't help it. I was very silently watching now the jam. I have to reach late, doesn't matter. My husband normally would have been really in great trouble. He would have looked at the watch all the time, would have been, wow, where are we, what are we doing, this and that. But he was so silently watching the whole thing, I was amazed. Because normally he would be jittery that we are getting so late for a function like. Now, you see, once you get rid of this problem, is the easiest thing to live. The other day I met one gentleman who was transferred. He said, always whenever, he is an IAS officer, Whenever I am transferred, Mother, I used to be so jittery, such tension, such stress on my mind, Baba. What will happen? Where will the children go? What will happen to the house? This, that, all problems would come to me. But what has happened to me and my wife, we don't feel anything now. We don't feel. We are not worried. We sleep very well. I said, that's what has to happen. All these things should not affect you. That's only possible when you can go beyond this mind, which we think mind is not such a good word, I should say, because it's not mental. It is, if it is only mind means the one which thinks. And that for them mental hospital is also mad people. I don't know how English language moves. It's difficult, English language is very difficult to explain such yoga, because in the English language, you'll be amazed that they call spirit. Spirit is the Atma, right? Spirit is the dead body moving about, according to them. And thirdly, it means also alcohol. Now, which one is closer to which one, I don't know. But this is why I'm saying that English language is a difficulty. Marathi is the best because lot of work has been done among Maharashtrians on Kundali. Nath Panthis were there, they have done a lot of work, but the tradition was that one person would give realization to only one person. If I have done anything you think worth mentioning, it is that I tried to find out a way of giving collective realization, collective happiness. That's what was my humble contribution, and by which I find thousands of people have got their realization. Now, what is the realization? It is that you should see at the base of the spinal cord is a triangular bone called as sacrum. It is called sacrum because it's a sacred bone, and the Greeks knew about it, that it's a sacred bone. And according to our Shastras and also many other prophecies, there resides a power within us, our own power, your own power, called as Kundalini. It's called Kundalini because it is in 3.5 coils. Coils are called Kundal, that's why it is the Kundalini. Now, this power is your own. It's in every human being. And if it is awakened, it passes through 6 centers, piercing through the top of the head, which we call as the Brahmarandre in the Sanskrit language, and the fontanelle area in the English language. It passes through that soft bone which was there in the childhood, and you just start feeling the cool breeze coming out of your head and the cool breeze coming onto your fingertips. It happens. It's an experience, and for which you cannot pay. You cannot. I may go on telling you lots of stories, this, that won't work. It has to happen. The Kundalini has to rise and has to pierce through fontanelle area. Otherwise, it's no use. It's just words, some sermon or something like that. So, this happening is very easy in this Kali Yuga. This is really remarkable because maybe because of Kali Yuga, people are fed up of the things going on and all kinds of things working out. Now, what does it do? It passes through 6 centers. 6 centers, these are meant for our physical, mental, and emotional being, and also for our spiritual being. So when it passes through these 6 centers, it nourishes those centers. It integrates all these centers. And ultimately it passes through this and enters into the all-pervading power of divine love. It's called as Paramachaitanya. You may call it as all-pervading power of divine love or anything, but names make no difference. There is a very subtle power around us, which looks after us, which guides us, which helps us, which is the torsion area. Now, by doing that, what happens? That you become knowledgeable of the absolute truth. Absolute. Whatever you know is absolute, is nothing to doubt, nothing can be challenged. For example, it starts flowing through your fingertips. Starts flowing through your fingertips, and you can feel it on your fingertips, your centers. Now these are 5, 6 and 7 centers, 5, 6 and 7 centers. I'm not going to tell you all the details now, but when you start feeling these cold sensation, Adi Shankaracharya has called it as spand, then you feel the truth, the real truth. For example, supposing in your office you get somebody who is a cheat, very well dressed, speaks English very well, very well behaved. How will you make him out? You just have to put your hands under your table and see for yourself. Immediately you'll get some sort of a burning sensation, or you might feel some sort of a, call needle and pins, like that. That kind of a feeling you might get. Then you will also know what centers is catching on your fingertips. This is the absolute knowledge about everything. It's not question of only knowing who is a bad or a good person, but also of diseases. Supposing you have some disease, you will feel it on your fingertips. On your fingertips you will feel it. You will know this is your disease, and if you know how to cure them, you can cure others also. Because you become one with the whole. It's a very collective personality you develop. Who is the other after all? We are all one. But only trouble is we are separated because of this ignorance. Once this works out, so many things drop out from us. This is the right side I am telling you about, but also the conditionings are very much working out in us. In our reaction, there are two things that work out. One is the right side, another the left side, and the left side is all the conditioning as you see them. These conditionings come to us through our childhood, through our family, through our country, through our reading, this, that, all kinds of things they come up. But also, family upbringing is very important. Because according to our Shastras, there are 6 enemies, we have got 6. Now these 6 enemies are what? So Kama, Krodha, Mada, Matsara, Lobha, Moha. Kama is what you can call sexual urge. Krodha is anger. Krishna has denounced anger. But all right-sided people are hot-tempered. They don't want to be, but they are. And when they lose their temper, then they feel bad also. Not that they want to lose it, but they just lose it. Now, this one drops out. The temper goes out completely because you develop that witness state, Sakshi Swarupada. With that witness state, you just see everything. You don't lose temper. You just see it. That is one thing drops out very well. Mother is false pride. That we have. I know IAS officers and their wives. They have that false pride. Not everyone, but some of them do they have. I have very funny experiences of that. Like once we went to Delhi to Hatriji, and they had given us a house in Minabag. And I met another friend of mine from Lucknow who had married an IAS officer. A very proud girl. And she asked me, where are you living? How are you? I said, my husband is a government servant, so he's transferred here. But where are you living? I said, Minabag. Oh my God, Minabag, what is your husband doing? Is he a clerk? What is he doing? I said, he's doing something. And I was just looking at her the way she was on me. Boy, my husband might be your husband's boss, so this and that. So maybe I don't know anything about these things. I'm sorry I don't know your list of people, anything, I'm not interested. And then my husband came. So she said, see that tall man, he's very important. He's with the Prime Minister. You go and talk to him and get your husband promoted. I said, what is she up to? I said, darling, he's my husband. Hey, he's your husband? Huh? Yeah. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I said, it's all right. Common experience. The women also become IAS, you see. Not actually, but as wives. And I've been such a lost person with them because I could never understand what is there to be IAS and to be his wife. It was beyond me. But one thing, what really helped me in all this turmoil of life, because our pay is less, this, that, all problems are there, was the patriotism, Rashtra Bhakti. My father was a great patriot, my mother was. They sacrificed everything for the independence of this country. I cannot travel by any foreign airlines, whatever may be. Maybe Air India is not good, doesn't matter. It's my country's thing. So the feeling that this is my country kept me going you become like a Kargil soldier. You are fighting for your country. You are working for your country. My husband got into Indian Foreign Service. I told him nothing doing. We don't drink, both of us, and I can't leave my country in the lurch at the time when we have got the freedom. So if you want, you can go. I will not go. I don't want to go to Foreign Service. They cut his pay. That time, 300 was a big amount. I said, doesn't matter. Whatever it is, I'll stay in my country. I'll work in my country. And you work here. I'll support you every way. I don't want anything. Nothing I want. And you don't take a bribe at all. Otherwise, that day I'll leave this. Otherwise, also I said that the another thing is our country has to develop. Who will develop? I always felt that you are the spinal cord of our country. You have to develop this country. What is this money comes and goes? You have seen the people who have got money, where their children have gone. What has happened to them? What have they achieved? So I told very frankly that I will not go to the foreign service of any kind. Because what is in the foreign service, I want to do everything in this country of mine, for which I have also fought. I have fought a lot, and this is what now sometimes, it's disappointing to see what things are happening. But a day will come, this country will rise. How? Because when this happens, when this Kundalini rising takes place, when people become realized souls, they just transform. They become extremely patriotic. They understand what is needed today for our country. They can sacrifice anything, they can live anywhere, and they are not bothered about some sort of you can call it a financial help or other material things. They are above materialism. There are thousands and thousands like that, even in our country. Thousands. And also abroad. Now, Saj Yoga is working in 86 countries. They are all full of joy. Because with this happening, you get joy of a quality which has no double thing. It's not happiness, unhappiness. It's just joy. And you have another thing also with it, is the peace of mind. Just you are so peaceful. Absolutely peaceful. You don't have to worry about things. You don't have to become jittery. Because see the diseases you develop. Apart from that, all kinds of paralysis comes from this. We had a doctor in our hospital there who was working very hard. I told him that, doctor, see, now your age has come. You should take it easy. Daytime you must rest. There's no need, you are not in an office and just rest. Take rest, do something else. read, or you can go and play, do something.